We are live. Here we go, everyone. Welcome everybody to the next installment of this amazing series of Facebook Lives we are doing. We are having some amazing special guests, which are your Relationships Done Different certified facilitators. I'm the host. I'm just playing a hosting role for tonight's call, and I would love to welcome our very, very special guest for tonight's call, Anaa Abualfaraj. Welcome, my love.
Thank you, Sarah, and thank you for hosting this. The happily ever after.
Happily ever after, stars in our eyes. And we were talking just before we started this Facebook Live about your topic. So each of you guys, so you'll find the replays here on the Facebook page, and we've got a bunch more of these coming up. And each one of these amazing RDDCFs choose a topic for us to explore and for them to talk about. But it's really based around this happily ever after expectation-y energy that comes up so much with relationships. And your topic for tonight or for today is, are you that into you? So do you want to talk a little bit about like what that is for you, or where you came up with this topic to talk about tonight, Anna?
Yes, for sure. I was telling Sarah, it's like when the first is the book and the movie, he's not that into you. The book came out, it was like the topic for everyone to talk about. So it's like when we're meeting guys, or if I saw like someone is cute, is he that into me or not? And it's like till this day, whenever it's like I meet with my friends or in my sessions, it's that question. He texts me, is that he's into me or not? If he did that, that means that. Until it's like I came across the tools of access consciousness. And I know I'm telling everyone else that's about conclusions. And it's like whenever it's like we can't, whatever that person is doing, or it's like the way they're being nice or not, is into us or not, that's it. We're going to the end of it. Where's the question? And where is like the choice in that relationship or not? So here's like, I want to introduce you to tools to use it in relationship instead of going to conclusion and expectation and predetermined question. And at the same time, are you into you? We want everyone to love us. What about if we started with us, with question on that? So anywhere and everywhere, we're waiting for other people to see us and to acknowledge us, instead of we're choosing us in every relationship. And the first relationship we start with ourselves, let's destroy it and create it right now, please. Right, wrong, good and bad, POC and POT. We changed the clearing statement, so give me a minute. All hundreds. Right, wrong, good and bad, POC and POT. All hundreds. Choice, boys, POVADs, bases, creations, and beyonds. I said it.
Perfect. And I just want to quickly say one thing to that before you keep going, because this is so brilliant. Like, even in my world, how much it's making me laugh, because you know, it's obviously such, you're just nailing this energy of where we do this, but it's also not just in the kissy face relation. Like, it's not just in the sexual boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever relationships. It's really, we do this with everyone, like the people we work with, like these relationships where we're constantly like doing this thing to make sure people are acknowledging or validating us in a way. Yeah, I just love this topic. It's making me laugh and making me smile. So thank you.
Yeah, as you said, it's like we're waiting for affirmation from other people or validation. It did this, if it's wrong, if it's right. We're waiting for that instead of us choosing where we want to go and our ideas and stuff. And thank you for bringing that up. Before I started working with access and stuff, I used to work in corporation and governmental. And I remember in meetings, before I said any idea, I have to go in my head to see if they're going to say okay about it, or they're going to acknowledge me or not before I pitch my idea. That thing shifted when I started to work with access. I can choose me and be into me and say my idea. And that idea could be yes or no. It could be in another time.
Yeah.
And that's in relationship as well. Instead of it's like, we go to like other partner or lover head, and we say the truth based on their truth. What about is like we be our truth and we acknowledge that whatever they say, that's them, not us.
Yeah, like it's not personal.
It's not personal, exactly.
Yeah.
And if it's not personal, we can be ourselves no matter where we go.
Yeah.
And here when it's and if you didn't know, I started Access Consciousness because I was looking for a relationship. I was looking for like validation from the other people and men and whatever, and that's the only tools that I found it in anywhere that it gave me the value of self.
Yeah.
And when I started to practice and embody, and still this day I embody more of the 5 elements of intimacy, that's the way it's like it got me out of the need. So everyone is here. It's like we always talk about the need to be loved, the need to be in relationship, the need of someone is to hold your hand at night or to talk to you. And when we embody the 5 elements of intimacy, that is honoring, allowance, honoring again. So honoring, allowance, vulnerability, gratitude, and
Trust.
Things started to melt, and we started to learn about ourselves, acknowledge ourselves. And whenever it's like we start in this place and we acknowledge this, relationship comes. And the happily ever after starts with us. If we're looking for a love from outside and we don't love ourselves, no one will come to love us. But hint from Dr. Dane, one of the founders of Access Consciousness, Dr. Dane here, he always says like your point of view creates your reality. So when your point of view starts that with us, like that the world comes as like as ease. And gratitude started to come because we have like when we start to embody it with self.
Yeah. And there was something then as well, just with this whole topic of how we sort of invent ourselves to be liked or loved by people. Because, okay, so let me formulate it as a question. And I'm going to use the word why, but why do we do that? Like, what's your sense of like what it is that we're looking for or seeking when we try so hard to gain the acknowledgement, the validation, or whatever it is of other people?
First, we don't know ourselves. The first happily ever after relationship, it starts with self. So we lack it with self, so we always look for it from outside.
Yeah.
So we're searching for a thing that starts with us.
Yeah.
That's I believe is like the first one. Second, it's I can talk about myself. It's the way I was raised.
Yeah.
I always check with other people around me if they're okay with what I'm doing or not. I'm a Middle Eastern, as you know. I'm Saudi, so like there is culture and there is like boundaries of the family. And here, when it comes to honoring, it's not about defending or avoiding what their rules or tradition. It's about honoring what they have and honoring self and myself and my being to choose whatever I'm choosing. And it all started with the questions. So it's like, if I chose this, how's my life would be like in 5 years if I didn't choose that? And is that the time for me to do that now or later?
Yeah.
And to be like vulnerable with everything with self, because we lie to like we were honest with everyone around us except us. So what about we start to be like more honest with self, with the things that we're looking for, we wanna achieve. Because I'm a person, it's like if you tell me you can't do it, I will cross everything that to do it. But then we buy the lie that we cannot do it. And that the first lie we give it to ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's also, like, when you were talking then, it's also like this thing where we fear everyone, like people will leave us or we'll be alone. But it's so interesting because it's like when you create yourself from that space where you don't have those 5 elements of intimacy and you're really just creating a version of you that's appealing to other people, you're alone anyway, because you don't, like, I love how you talk so much about creating this really strong relationship with yourself. And the 5 elements of intimacy are such a great foundation for that. And yeah, like it's just seeing it from this place of like, we're so afraid of being alone, but really when we create our relationships this way, we're really alone anyway.
Exactly. Because it's like we're putting a barrier between us and everyone in the world. And waiting for them to say yes beyond the wall we created.
Yep.
So it's a separation between us and self, and with us and everyone in the world. And the fear is not real. The fear because we're waiting from the outside to fill something inside of us. What about if we start to fill ourselves inside, and then it's like surprisingly everyone like they will love our company because there's the need. What is the need? Is greedy, and it always is a pushing energy to force everyone outside to protect ourselves. What about it's like if we don't need protection? We can just be. And all of the lies of this protection that we learn that we gotta use it, it's just like it's just a trap.
Yeah. And it's so interesting what you said too about the cultural side of your upbringing. But because I'm Australian and I grew up in Australia where a lot of people see us as like, you know, a very lucky and fortunate country, but somehow I did the same thing. Like I grew up being so super duper aware of everyone around me and being so attuned and tuned into knowing what they require and wanting to keep everything like the ship at even keel, like not, oh, don't tip it this way or don't tip it that way because someone's going to get upset or something's going to be. So it's so interesting as well. Like it so defies culture. And like, obviously every part of the world has their version of this sort of stuff, but really it's something that I think maybe it's a humanoid characteristic as well. If you guys know what that what that tool is in Access, where we're the people that just come into this world wanting to make everything great for people. And it's kind of where we take that natural capacity and sort of turn it against ourselves in a lot of ways, right?
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
And what is it? And there's like, I can say till this day, and it's gonna always happen. There is like the idea and the dream of happily ever after, and it's like to get what is like the other gender or other people want in our life, and it's not wrong.
No,
it's not wrong. It's like to dream of like the white dress and the Prince Charming coming on a horse. But I acknowledge that it is not wrong to think about that. But it's like, and to dream about that, but let's put it in a dream and acknowledge what it is.
Yeah. And let me ask you a question around that then, because I'm the same. I'm such a romantic as well, like watching the movies and like there's a part of, I don't know if it's just, again, like that caring and very, very basal kind of raw thing that we have as caring people, that we naturally are drawn to the happily ever after, like, promise or dream or whatever that is. And I don't make it wrong either. I've learned to be like, hey, I'm a bit of a hopeless romantic. I love those romantic movies and blah, blah, blah. But what I want to ask you is, now that you have these tools, and I mean, your relationship's done different CF, you get to facilitate these classes. How is it different now? Like, how do you incorporate these tools into your relationships so you can have it all, basically? You don't have to give up and be like this lone wolf that's never going to let anyone close to you again. Like, it's not about that either.
Yeah. I learned, but it was like, I forgot the way it is. But there's like elegance in romance.
Yeah.
But romance is not the romance we think it is.
Yeah. Cool.
So the real romance is not predetermined future, and then it's like we get disappointed about, it's
Yeah.
like we didn't, like the thing that we didn't reach.
Yeah.
But it's like the real romance is like you enjoy every second with the partner, with self, with the ease of it.
Totally.
So as you said, is like in the movies, let's enjoy it the way it is, and
Yeah.
we be happy, but not put it like a projection, expectation, separation, judgment, and rejections. And
Yeah.
that's when I started with these movies, because I love watching them.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, all of my projections, all of my expectations, separation, judgment, and rejections toward
Yeah.
this movie. Let me destroy and uncreate it right now. Right, wrong, good and bad, pock and pot, all night. Oh no, all hundreds, shorts, boys, povats, basis creations, and beyonds. So,
Yeah.
and just started, and it's like, how can I embody this into my life?
Yeah.
Not in a fixed point of view or a fixed story, but
Yeah.
how can you embody this? The
The
enjoyment
energy of
of
it.
it, the
Yeah.
energy.
Yeah. 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 And I loved you would use the word elegance, the elegance of it. I love that. Yeah.
And if you guys in a relationship and you want to talk about it, you can ask your partner with no barriers. Like, I would love to be invited in somewhere fun. I want a romantic night with candles.
Yeah.
We learn to wait
Yeah. For
instead
them
of,
to do it. Yeah. Yeah. Rather than asking for the things that we desire, which is exactly how you started this live out, was really talking about that. Yeah.
exactly. When I had like my last relationship, I used to tell him, it's like, I love when I finish a class or like I'm done with something, you call me and you say, it's like, hi, sweetie, how was your day? And
Yeah.
just pamper me. I asked
Yeah.
for it, and with no point of view about them doing it or not, or
Yeah.
waiting for them. It could, like, it could happen much easier than just
Totally.
waiting for the other person, and we get disappointed if they didn't.
Yeah. And I think for a lot of men as well, because men love direct communication. So they try their best, but they're like, but if we were to just say to them, oh, like I remember once I called my partner and I'm like, oh, the place across the road's got flowers on sale again. And he's like, would you like me to buy you some flowers? And I'm like, I would love that so much. Like he was like doing the reading between the lines, whereas I could have just been like, honey, there's fresh flowers across the road, would you buy me a bunch? Because I love receiving flowers, and as soon as I asked him, the flowers were there. It was like, and he was happy and I was happy, and yeah.
And happily ever after.
That's like our version, our reality with what happily ever after can be. Yeah. And happily ever after, where even if you don't have a significant other in your life, that you can be like, if you're not interested in relationship of that kind, you can buy the flowers for yourself. You could take yourself out for a romantic candlelit dinner, or to go dancing somewhere in the moonlight or something like that. Like everything that we think a partner needs to be there to give us is also the things that we can very much be and gift to ourselves.
Yeah. And there is no right way of a relationship or wrong way of a relationship. And we can ask people, it's like, if we get them, like people in relationship, they tend to be mad if the other partner or the other person, even in friendship, if they said no or they didn't deliver. What about, it's like, we remove the madness. If they do it, they do it. If not, we'll do it ourselves.
Yeah.
What else is possible? It's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It's such a different reality that's available.
Yes.
Amazing, my friend.
Yeah.
This has been amazing. Is there anything else you'd like to share with the people out there watching this? Or
I would tell them, it's like, please, if you would love to expand your relationship area, the book Divorceless Relationship and Relationship, Are You Sure You Want One? It's a gem of different way of looking at relationship that starts with you. I like advise you to read them and to choose RDD soon. We will, like, you'll see more about the 5 elements of intimacy, the questions, the choice in a relationship, and my life change. And happily ever after, it's now, not after.
Yeah, happily ever right now.
And like that, exactly.
I love that. And it's so amazing to me that I think a lot of people in this reality think I cannot have it all. It's impossible to have it all. So I'll take this much in my relationship. Like, it's good if it's this, but using these tools, Anaa, and what I've seen, using the tools of access, but especially around relationship. And I've attended many RDD classes and I have the books and I've read the books. It's like, you actually can have all of it and more than you ever dreamed was possible in relationship. If you're willing to dive into this world that is a very different world of tools and possibilities to use. Yeah, it's very cool. Yeah.
And thank you, Sarah, for your amazing questions and hosting me today.
Oh, my pleasure. You're brilliant.
Thank you.
And I'm so glad that you're facilitating these classes. I think it's just a gift to the world, my friend. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching, everyone. I think in about 24 hours maybe is the next one. I'm not sure, but it'll be very soon. And we're very grateful for all of you. And thank you so much. See you next time. Thank you again, Anaa.
You're
Bye, everyone.